Yo, what's up guys, it's NLW here, back again with another video. Today, going to be giving you my thoughts on WrestleMania Night 1, which was actually delayed by half an hour, but we'll get into it in a moment. But before I get into my review, make sure you like the video, and also comment below what you thought of WrestleMania, and as always, make sure you subscribe to NLW Figs. But without further ado, let's get into it. But WrestleMania didn't just get into it, there was actually a rain delay, which caused it to be delayed for about half an hour. In the meantime, they were scrambling to try and fill that time with a bunch of unscripted promos and interviews, which you could tell they were thinking on their feet, and it was like a comedy improv really when they were going on, and you can tell as well that they're not used to doing things so unscripted and loose. KO actually had a promo at one point, but there was this horrible whirring noise in the background. I know Drew McIntyre kind of fumbled his words a little bit, so a little bit awkward, but once we got after the awkward rain delay, we got into the action, and the first match was Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. A solid opener, to be honest. The crowd there really made this match feel a lot more special. The match picked up a lot once Drew hit a dive to the outside onto Lashley. They go back in. Lashley is dazed. McIntyre's trying to throw everything at him. There's the hurt lock at one point, or he tries to, but Drew keeps trying to escape it. Ultimately though, Lashley with the hurt lock and the technical submission, Drew McIntyre passes out, and Lashley is still the WWE Champion, so that's quite a surprising result. Although I think it's the right result, it's still quite funny that the first match back with fans, the heel goes over, but that's besides the point. A decent opener, helped by the fact that it was in a new environment and a new crowd. I don't know how well it would have done had it been in the Thunderdome, but that's beside the point because this was a good match, solid opener. Next up, we got the Tag Team Turmoil match, and I'm just going to breeze through this one. Lana and Naomi to start, then I think it's Billie Kay and Carmella come in. They beat Lana and Naomi, then the Riott Squad come in, and the Riott Squad are the highlights of this match, and then ultimately they lose to Natalya and Tamina, which was great. Not really. I don't like Natalya and Tamina. I don't know what it is about them. Maybe it's just the fact that they've been there for so long, but I'm not looking forward to the tag title match tomorrow. But to be honest, I don't really care about these titles, so I'm not going to complain about it too much. It was what it was. Would have been nice to see the Riott Squad go over, but no, guess not. Next up, probably one of my favourite matches of the night aside from the main event, which I'll get to. We've got Cesaro taking on Seth Rollins. There's so much cool innovation in this one, and when I look back on my notes, it only actually went 10 minutes, which was quite surprising. Rollins hit this corkscrew splash at one point, Cesaro with the power, and he gets out of so many swing attempts to Seth Rollins, and then hits his cool looking back knee that he probably stole from Nakamura, but again, Cesaro, just the star of this match. Couple of spring uppercuts, and then a no-hands UFO and a swing. Cesaro with a neutralizer, beats Seth Rollins. What a fantastic match. I love this one. Up until that point, I was like, this WrestleMania, it's not really doing it for me, but that match, so fantastic. Hopefully they give Cesaro the push going forward from this. Next up, Raw Tag Titles on the line as AJ Styles and Omos challenge The New Day, and this match, it's a weird psychology in this one because The New Day is just getting the heat on Styles throughout the match, like they're beating him down as if he's the heel and he's going to make this valiant comeback, which is very odd, and then they tag in Omos once The New Day have had their fun, and Omos is just powerful. He's beaten up The New Day, and you can tell he's not really got the experience behind him, but he is a spectacle as, you know, the size of him. There was a cool spot with a forearm off of his shoulders, and then Omos pins Xavier Woods with one foot on the chest, and AJ Styles, a Grand Slam champion, as AJ and Omos are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. Not a lot to say about this one. It was quite short, and most of it was just AJ Styles being beaten down. It was kind of cool seeing Omos have that powerful spot fest showing at WrestleMania like this, but it was more of an angle than a match. Next up, a steel cage match as Braun Strowman takes on Shane McMahon, but unfortunately for Braun, he gets attacked before the bell as Elias and Jackson Ryker assault him with the steel chair, and most of this match is just Shane McMahon beating down Braun Strowman and calling him stupid. Then Strowman makes a comeback, throws McMahon right into the cage over and over and over again. The coolest spot is when Braun has Shane, he's on the outside of Shane, he's climbing down, and then Braun punches through and pulls the cage out of the wall so he can pull Shane McMahon back in, which was a spot that I've never actually seen before, which is quite cool. And then they're on the top, and Shane McMahon does Shane McMahon things, gets thrown off the top, takes a flat back bump, flipping onto the canvas from the top of the cage. Braun Strowman pins Shane McMahon and wins the match. I gotta say, a match that exceeded my expectations. It was quite intense in spurts, Like the match before, it was more of an angle than a match. Shane McMahon, there wasn't really any technical masterpiece in this one, you know, but it was what it was. I thought it was a good match, and hopefully they can just move on from here. Next up, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest take on The Miz and John Morrison. When I saw the bunnies coming out, that was my point to turn it off and watch the rest of WrestleMania in the morning. But this match, my goodness, like, this blew expectations completely. And I know that Bad Bunny had some training in the PC before this one, but I wasn't expecting the performance he gave out. He was hitting tornado DDTs. I mean, they built it really well because he's being beaten down as if he's just some ordinary, you know, jobber, no celebrity, and then he pulls out this tornado DDT, twisting Hurricane Rana, and The Miz and Morrison, they keep beating down Bad Bunny, and he's carrying the bulk of this match, which was quite surprising. Then Damian Priest makes the hot tag, runs wild, and then Bad Bunny, the highlight of the match, Canadian Destroyer on the outside to John Morrison. Everybody is shocked. Damian Priest hits his finisher to win for his team, and what a fantastic tag match. Probably the best celebrity match that they've done. I mean, I'm so impressed with Bad Bunny, man. He's great. He could have another match if he wanted to. I'm sure he does. But yeah, like, very surprising to see how well he did in this match, and it was so enjoyable, like, from start to finish. The middle bit where Bad Bunny was getting beaten down may have gone a little bit too long, but aside from that, great match. I loved it. And the main event, it is for the SmackDown Women's Championship as Bianca Belair challenges Sasha Banks. They're crying to start, you know, it's quite emotional, and I've seen people argue that this shouldn't be the main event. However, they over-delivered in this match and proved that they should have been the main event all along. So Bianca Belair, she's toying with Sasha Banks, and at one point press slams her. No, it's Sasha Banks hits a tope, Bianca catches her, press slams her, and throws her back into the ring. That was incredibly impressive. 450, but the knees are up, and Sasha Banks is using the hair of Bianca Belair to her advantage, choking her out and pulling it every which way. It ends when Bianca gets out of the bank statement, hits a beautiful 450 splash, and they're trying to trade finishing maneuvers. Ultimately, though, the KOD for Bianca Belair wins it, and she is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. My favourite match of the night by far, maybe aside from Rollins and Cesaro, but this was given the time to develop. It was the perfect length. It didn't go too long, didn't go too short, and Bianca Belair is cemented as a star. Sasha Banks gets her WrestleMania moment to be in the main event, as she deserves. Just a fantastic match and a great close to night one. So overall, I can't say it was the greatest show in the world. Like, it probably, if it was ranking in WrestleManias, it probably ranks somewhere in the middle. However, that said, like, the main event was absolutely fantastic. Loved Bianca finally getting her moment as the women's champion. The Bad Bunny match exceeded my expectations, and I think his performance was fantastic, and he really held his own in there. Strowman and Shane, it was what it was. You had the spectacular WrestleMania moment with him being thrown off the cage, which was good. Likewise with the moments in Omos and Styles winning the tag titles. Omos, cool spectacle, but not really much of a match. Cesaro and Rollins, great match as well. And McIntyre and Lashley, it wasn't my cup of tea, the opener, really. It was more trading moves, but once Drew hit that dive over the top, it really picked up steam, and it was a very enjoyable match. But the tag turmoil match, I'll just forget about that completely. But all things considered, yeah, like, a decent WrestleMania so far, but we've also got night 2 to consider, so we'll take that into consideration tomorrow night. But a very fun show. I enjoyed it a lot. It flew by, in my opinion. Rollins and Cesaro and Bianca and Sasha, my top picks for matches of the night. But what did you think of WrestleMania Night 1? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like the video as it helps get the channel out there, and remember to subscribe to NLW Figs. Tomorrow, going to be releasing my WrestleMania Night 2 review, so check that out when it comes out. That's it from me. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys later.